Ahead on the Valley today, home base burned by an arsonist. How you can help a nonprofit with its special needs children.
Also coming up this Wednesday morning, fire at a home daycare sends one person to the hospital with critical injuries.
Plus the first 48. Police say they have Monday's bank robbery suspect in custody after these pictures were shared with the public. But first, local breaking news just into our newsroom. Storm damage is canceling a performance at Trollwood Performing Arts School in Moorhead. Tonight's performance of Cinderella is off after storms earlier this week damaged the outdoor set.
Now another show is being added to make up for it, and that will be on Sunday, August 1st at 8:30 in the evening. People with reserved tickets for tonight can then use them on August 1st.
Most of you can probably see and even smell the smoky haze blanketing the valley this morning.
You also woke up to an alert on your VNL News app on your phone about just how bad it's going to get today. The Pollution Control Agency says it is reaching a very unhealthy category and encourages everyone to limit their time outside today.
The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live this morning with how breathing in this smoke could lead to some serious problems. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. You know, it's gotten better throughout the morning when it comes to smelling it. With the wind blowing, we haven't been able to smell it as bad. But if you look behind us, you can see that the haziness has not gotten better. Buildings in the back that you usually can see much clearer, you can't see anymore. I'm assuming that's the radisson by looking at it from being far back, but honestly, you just can't see much of that sign because of the haziness of the smoke. Now, this is heavy smoke coming from Canada, and it was making its way to Minnesota. Now, it's hazardous to your health because it can cause eye and throat irritation, chest discomfort. You can get some wheezing, coughing, sneezing. These are symptoms that you can feel from this wildfire smoke. It is especially problematic for people with heart and lung diseases, children, and those older adults.
Smokier it is, you see it outside, of course, the higher your risk will probably be because there's more pollutants in the air. If you can see blue sky, it's probably less pollutant.
Go inside your home and turn on your AC. This is bringing in that cleaner air, and if it's worse, you want to seek that medical attention. So if you can, limit that time outdoors. If you're going to take your dogs out, maybe take them out a lot quicker. I would also recommend not exercising outdoors. Exercise inside. That would be better for today.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for quite some time, but today it is definitely different. So listen to the warnings and take care of yourself and your family for sure.
Yes.
Brian Sherrod reporting live. Thank you.
And then tracking that smoke all last week, warning us that today was going to be the worst. Also warning us that today it's going to be a hot one. Lisa, you've had a very full plate these last few days.
Yeah, you know, and add to that the potential for a little rain or even some thunder too. So it's busy here in the weather department. Our first concern though this morning is that smoke that we were just talking about. We've got low visibility for that morning commute and some haze. So make sure you've got your headlights turned on so folks can see you heading down the road. And then also just for your health, as Brian was mentioning, it's smoky with some poor air quality out there too. So we're tracking that. We're taking a look at our visibilities around the region as well. Here's a look at our Luther Family Forge Skycam on the south end of town in Fargo. You can see traffic picking up as we're moving through the morning. And I've been mentioning this, you know, Brian was mentioning it's hard to see some of the buildings. Usually we can see Sanford Hospital in this view. It's usually right by this sign, the pole here. It's just haze, all smoke going on in that area. So that gives you an idea again of just how low our visibility is. And here's a look at that air quality. Again, we're in that very unhealthy category here in Fargo. Grand Forks also checking in at that. And the Detroit Lakes area monitors in those areas indicating air quality is in that range, meaning that we are all impacted by it here today. So limit your time outdoors, as we were hearing from Brian and our experts here. Up to the north, you can see, again, we've been talking about this too. We don't have monitors in the Northern Valley in that area and out to the west, so we don't have any data from that area, but I would assume that you still have that smoke either in that unhealthy or very unhealthy category. And a good way to tell is to look at your visibility reports, because we are low anywhere where we have smoke. There may be a little fog mixed in there, but smoke is definitely the main factor here. And Langdon, we're less than a mile visibility in that area. Both Fargo and in Grand Forks, we're at 1.5 miles for visibility. So an air quality alert has been extended now through the day today and into tomorrow morning for our Minnesota counties. Doesn't mean we're not experiencing air quality issues in eastern North Dakota, just different agencies. So the difference in issuing things between the two states is there, but we're all experiencing that air quality problem. And then there's some rain, some spotty showers around the valley, a couple of them, one moving toward the Grand Forks area right now. now. So if you're in the town of Grand Forks, you're watching this move in. It's affecting the airport area, and it's going to move east. Expect that brief shower here as you step out the door. Temperatures are warm too, 72 in Fargo and 70 in Grand Forks. Quick look at your planner today. Again, more heat. We'll see temperatures rising back into the 80s to some low 90s in the Southern Valley. As far as that smoke is concerned, once we start to see that south wind pick up a little bit more, I'm hoping that will help to scour out some of the smoke today, but it will be hanging around coming up here over the next 24 hours with a little more improvement tomorrow. So hang in there, dealing with that smoke, especially this morning as it's worst right now.
Okay. We've been warned. Thank you, Lisa.
Investigators say they have now identified a juvenile as the suspect in an arson at a South Fargo strip mall that caused an estimated $1.25 million in damages. Gigi's Playhouse was one of the businesses destroyed in that May 11th fire.
The executive director says they have been pressing forward in their mission of putting the families they serve first. The Playhouse has bounced back, but they have just started with some of their programs in a temporary home.
I don't think we realized how hard it was on our families not having that place. Gigi's Playhouse has been a place for families for the last 5.5 years. We offer educational enrichment opportunities free to families with individuals with Down syndrome and their families to learn, grow, thrive. And you know, in the last month, we've realized without that space, it is really affecting our families.
The rebuilding process is ongoing, and the plan is to return to that South Point Business Park in the future. Gigi's Playhouse is also now launching a capital campaign. That will happen in 4 stages. They will start with the rebuild and then reopening.
Also, they're hosting a golf tournament on July 26th at Moorhead Country Club to help raise money for the rebuild.
It was a tense situation in North Moorhead when parents got word that their children's at-home daycare was on fire. Now, it happened around noon at 710 12th Street North.
Firefighters say flames and smoke were coming from the top floor of the building, and they had to rescue someone from the top floor who's now in the hospital with serious burns. The daycare was in the downstairs portion of the building, so no children were hurt. A Moorhead woman is in jail, accused of robbing a bank at gunpoint in Richland County. Police say 43-year-old Tessa Jacksa was arrested after someone recognized images that police released. She's suspected of robbing Lincoln State Bank in Wyndmere on Monday. Police say they did recover all of the money that was taken in that robbery.
We are learning more today about an officer-involved shooting from earlier this month in Moorhead. 2 women have now came forward claiming that police fired multiple times at a man who they say was unarmed and had his arms in the air and was trying to surrender.
Moorhead police say they responded to the 2500 block of 4th Avenue North just after 3 in the afternoon on July 4th on a call of suspicious activity. Now, there was a foot chase, and Moorhead officer Andrew Work ended up firing his gun.
He said he had a black glove on, but that was for riding his motorcycle. And he put his hands up, and he said, no, I'm not armed, I'm not armed. And he said that the cop was screaming at him, and then he started shooting.
23-year-old Isaiah Hopkins was arrested, now in prison in St. Cloud on unrelated weapons charges. Officer Work, he remains on administrative leave as the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension now investigates.
Now, you can find this full story, which includes explosive dispatch audio from that day, on our free VNL News app. Mandatory watering restrictions are in place for people in Moorhead and Dilworth right now. If your address ends in an even number, you will only be allowed to water on even numbered days.
Plus, watering only permitted between 8 at night and 8 in the morning. You only have about 1 hour left. There are some exceptions, though. Flower gardens, newly planted trees and shrubs, and freshly seeded lawns, they are all exempt from these restrictions.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. 39% of men say they regret not learning how to do this.
The answer is play an instrument. I think my favorite guess, though, it was from Elizabeth. She said, listen. Although I think the percentage is higher than 39% of men that don't really do that.
Yes, this is true. And you know what? It's never too late. You can learn to play an instrument and to listen.
Both things. Remember, you can play along every day on our Facebook page. But the Today Show and CBS This Morning, they're just about to start. The Valley Today, we roll on. Find us on the Fargo CW.